Hi class, it's Ms. Miller, and today what I'd like to do is speak with you about this reading strategy, SOAPSTONE. And SOAPSTONE allows you to extract really important information from a particular text. It really is the blueprint or skeleton of a text. It's the foundation. So basically, when you use SOAPSTONE, the first thing you do is you address the subject. The S stands for subject. And basically when you use a SOAPSTONE in a text, it can be a speech, an essay, a eulogy, it could be anything, a newspaper article, but you get the subject of the entire work. And you can do that in a word or a phrase. The O stands for occasion. So you want to know when this piece was written, why it was written, or where it was written. It could be at a funeral, it could be at a convention center. So what is the occasion of the writing, the context, what happened before and after to provide you with this information. The A in SOAPSTONE stands for audience. Who is the audience? You want to think about the audience's race, their gender, their age, their social status, their emotional state, and not all of this is going to be explicit. The writer might not tell you this information. You have to infer from the writer's choice of diction or word choice or language. You also want to infer this from the syntax, the sentence structure, and whether or not the author uses informal or formal language. A lot of times that'll help you determine who the audience might be. And in some cases it is explicit and they'll tell you right out who the audience is. In SOAPSTONE, the P stands for purpose. What's the reason behind the piece? Why is this being written? And you want to use a nice sentence to sort of construct the purpose. What is the motivation or the underlying factors for this piece? The S stands for speaker, and I want to make sure that you understand that you need to be able to distinguish the speaker from the writer. And sometimes on some occasions it's different. The speaker in a short story might be different from the writer, and in some cases it could be for a nonfiction speech as well, because maybe the writer is someone different than actually who is actually speaking. The T for SOAPSTONE is tone, and this is really important. You're going to want to look for tone in most everything that you read, but you also want to make the distinction between mood and tone. Mood is how you feel. We're not interested in how you feel about the reading. We want to know what the speaker's attitude is about their particular subject. So it could be a frustrated tone, it could be an anxious tone, it could be a cordial tone, whatever tone it is, whatever the attitude. One thing that comes to mind when I think of tone is that State Farm commercial when they're talking about their car and the girl gets really excited and she's thinking, oh, my car, right? They say the same content, but the way in which they deliver that message is completely different. But you can see, or you understand the tone of that piece. The next one is organization. An organization is important from two perspectives. One, you need organization because when you are reading a text, it's important to be able to identify what the style is that they're using for the organization so you can anticipate what's happening, but ways in which you can organize a text. Classification, cause and effect, narration. Classical is the one that we're all accustomed to, that 5-paragraph essay with the introduction, the middle, and the end. Description, explication, compare contrast, definition, process analysis. But this is a whole different lesson. You want to know the organization because like I said, you want to be able to anticipate what someone is talking about, but also because if you want to come up with your own piece, you want to know your purpose and what's the best way to organize your work. The second to the last one is narrative style. The N for narrative style in SOAPSTONE. That basically, we all have our own style when we're writing, so we want to make sure that we can identify what is the writer, how do they construct their work, what's their style, what point of view do they use, the first person, second person, third, what do they include in their work, what do they omit, what do they make obvious and clear, and what is ambiguous in their work. So what is their style? And then the last one is E for evidence, where you want to find, it kind of goes back to T for tone. If you said a certain tone, let's say you said it was a very angry tone, then you're going to want to provide evidence, and you're going to select diction from the text to help you sort of sort that out and reinforce your idea for tone. Now, the ones that really work for you and kind of guide into your précis, because once you do a SOAPSTONE, you can then construct your précis. And some pieces that are important for you to include in your précis is audience, purpose and tone. So once you have a nice blueprint of the work, you sort of really summarize it in a very clear way, you can also begin appraising. That's a whole new video. I hope that was helpful. Thank you.